Action! Alrighty, today is Saturday, September 3rd. We got back from work a few hours ago. Thought we'd just do a garden tour since we didn't do one since, I don't know, it's been a while. July, I think, sometime was last time we actually give you a good tour of the whole garden. So this probably will end up being like a 2 or 3 part series. It'll be, I'll put it, so it ain't such a long video, I'll put it in several parts. But anyways, these are our Peppercini Peppers.
Which garden are we in?
We're in the big garden. The big garden across the road from the house.
Okay.
So those are chili peppers. They're actually pretty good. We've eaten a fair many of them green. They should turn red. I'd like to let some get red, but there's a lot on them. Things are loaded.
Yes, they are.
Let me get over there so you can actually see.
I can't believe they're not weighed down.
They're not. Them's good, strong, healthy plants. Them's nice peppers. And they're good just like that too. We've eaten them like that. But, I don't know how many plants we got there, 6 or 8 maybe. But these Peppercini peppers, these things just won't stop. Everybody knows what those are. They're good. They're not real hot. They're sweet. They're pretty sweet. We don't spray, so
you can
I'm
eat
really
it.
not afraid to eat one of them.
Eat it straight from the garden.
We eat a lot of stuff like this. Wife's mom thinks I'm nuts sometimes when we're here and we just grab something and eat it, but why not? These things here we've sold, I don't know how many we've sold. We've eaten a bunch. We sold.
I stripped them clean for the farmer's market twice.
Yeah, last weekend we took 5 pecks, and this week we took 4 pecks, which a peck's a quarter of a bushel. It's like, I think it's like 12 pounds or something like that. It's about almost what it weighs. But they're good. They're good peppers. These are what you get on your pizzas a lot of times when you order pizza, and there's a little pickled pepper there. That's what this is. Down there's the cantaloupes. A lot of them cantaloupes, I don't know, something got in there and it was eating at them. They're kind of rotten. A lot of them are. I don't know if you can see them in the camera or not, but they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, that one right there is busted on top and rottened, and all the rest of them. Yeah. There's been rabbits come through, but
right.
Whether that's what did the damage.
That last bite was a little warm.
You had the seeds in that, didn't you?
Yeah, I ate the whole thing. That way I can eat some ice cream later tomorrow morning. I'll be wishing for the ice cream. Watermelons are doing pretty good. We've eaten a couple. Those aren't ripe yet. Let me get over here and show you. Best way to tell whether a watermelon's ripe, these are sugar babies. They won't get real big, but that stem will die off. When that stem turns brown, it's no longer getting anything from the plant, so that's when it's ripe.
And it's still green right now.
Yeah, and you can knock on it. And it should sound pretty hollow when it's ready too, but they're doing pretty good. There's a fair many on. I only got one. The one we've eaten, well, we ate a small one, and then we've eaten the Crimson Sweet. The Crimson Sweet, it was probably, I think it was like 13 pounds or something. It was
like
big.
that.
It was pretty good. We
Right.
took it to the neighbors last weekend for.
There hiding is the Crimson Sweet.
In around all them weeds. We took it to the neighbors last week for a picnic, and it was pretty good. This bed here, if you remember correctly, was our Zucchinis and Squashes. The cover crop's starting to come in here and there. It's hit and miss, but it's coming in. The field peas are coming in. Fescue, rye, it's all coming in. It's just not real well. We don't water down here. There's no water down here on this side of the yard.
So we kind of hope for rain.
Right. We have 2 rows of corn, 2 beds of corn. Each bed has 3 rows, 75 foot long. There's a lot of corn there. We last weekend we gave 2 dozen ears to a friend of ours, and we canned 40 planks last weekend of corn. We gave some to her mother, and today we took, I think, 8 dozen to the farmer's market and sold them. And there's still a lot on. Some of it, The bugs got some of it, and you know, but it's good corn.
It's delicious.
It's can't think what the kind it is.
Bodacious.
Bodacious. We got it from Haas Tools at last year's. At last year's Homesteaders of America conference, and we'll probably get more of them again next year because that was really cool. Here's our artichokes, and I didn't know if we was going to get any artichokes this year or not. I figured we would next year, but coming out here just now, look at them artichokes.
Yay!
Looking good. I don't know when you're supposed to harvest those.
If anybody has any ideas on when to harvest.
Yeah, I would assume that one's ready right there, but I don't know that for sure. These plants are good and healthy.
Look how big.
This one here has 3 on it.
How many did we put out here?
I'm not sure. Can't remember.
there's quite a few.
This one here it's starting to open up. This one here I'll probably let open up. They get real pretty purple flowers on them if I remember correctly. Yeah, so on the other side of that cattle panel we had where our winter squash is. We got a lot of spaghetti squash and a lot of butternut squash from over there. They just came on and went nuts. I don't even know how many we've gotten.
And they even came through the cattle panel.
Yeah, they even came through. They were supposed to go up the outside fence, but they came through and they're everywhere. That one there's just laying there. It's not even connected to nothing anymore, but it's
yeah.
It'll be chicken feed, so it's not a big deal. We've gotten, I don't even know, I don't even want to guess how many, a lot.
We keep track in our book.
How many we pick and take, but yeah.
So we'll have to just go back at the end of the season. And
right. These here's Peppercini Peppers. These are good peppers, really good sweet peppers.
These are the only peppers that we plant sweet pepper wise anymore.
These are really good. They get probably about that long and they'll turn red when they're ripe. We pick a lot of them green because they're good green. They're just sweeter when they're ripe, but they're really thick hide on them. They're really good peppers.
Here's one maybe. Oh no, it's still small. Yeah, I picked all the big ones for the market.
They sell fairly well. People around here, they just want their green bell peppers. They don't want to try nothing different. The ones that have tried these always come back for more. They say how good they are, how much better they are than the bell pepper. You know, everybody's different. Different strokes, different folks. We like these the best. So we're going to walk through the jungle and show you the other side of the corn maze. Here's sweet Cayennes. Supposedly sweet Cayennes. Some of them are sweet. I've eaten some that are really sweet, and I've eaten some that are hot. I mean, like outstandingly crazy hot. You can't even stand it. This one here, who knows what it's going to be. It's kind of like playing pepper roulette when you eat one of them. That one there is sweet. Really good sweet flavor. They get a little bigger than that, not a whole lot.
Just don't eat the seeds, baby.
No, it's good. It's sweet. One bite. That one is sweet.
That's really good.
This here is where our potatoes was. That cover crop's coming in real good, as you can see. It's doing real well. We got radishes and fescue, rye. There should be some, I'm not sure what all's in that mix, but field peas. There's some clover in there, crimson clover. Yeah. So,
and what does that do to the soil again?
the crimson clover, the field peas, and the hairy vetch is a nitrogen. They help put nitrogen back in the soil. The legume, the radishes that I threw in with them, they're a daikon radish. They'll get long and they'll break the subsoil up. And the rye, there's winter rye and an annual rye, both in that mix, and they actually, their roots put out some enzyme that actually kills weeds. So hopefully next year this bed will do really well. I don't want to put any compost down, but I may have to. Hopefully our cover crops will work. for the corn beds, I'll probably let that as the cover crop. I'll probably just mow it and let it lay where it is and let it rot up right where it's at. This bed right here, up at least up to where that bucket is, this week it's coming out. I'm gonna taking all them peppers out. We're gonna take the peppers out. We're gonna take the celeries out. And this bed here, I'm gonna clean it out and put cover crops in it up to there. Step over here. That bed there's 4 foot wide. It's a little hard to step over, but it's doable. This here is our wheat field corn or wheat field bean patch that got eat down several different times.
many times.
Yeah, but it's getting beans on. We're definitely gonna have some good bird egg beans this year.
Finally.
So I'll let them dry right on the. We'll let these dry right on the vine. We won't take these off till after we get a frost. Probably October sometime we take these off, and I don't know. We'll probably pull the plants, but we'll take all the beans out and then break them apart. Let them dry a little bit longer, and then probably put them in We'll probably put them in a jar with a lid on. Be several meals there for them. And tomatoes, whenever a tomato starts, I normally don't pull one out if I see one in a weed coming up. I just let it go.
We call them weeds after a while.
Yeah, they are. They're tomato weeds. But these here's good tomatoes. These here would be a San Marzino that we had here last year. I'm sure that's what that is. I'm not sure. This here might. Who knows what it is? It's a San Marzino as well. And I know that's what they are because they're an heirloom and they come back like that. So I know that is what these are.
So we had last year's seeds take off and going to give us tomatoes for this year.
Right, exactly. They just, yeah. And I'm sure we'll have that again up through there where the tomatoes are. But you have that sometimes. And there's some up there in the other garden that we'd have to go. You know, it didn't matter what. So over here on this side, right through there is our green beans. That area there was snap peas, and whenever they were done, we put green beans in there. And we're just, I think she picked twice out of that patch of green beans.
Yeah.
We got green beans there, and we got a patch up above too. So this, the weeds in here is driving me insane. I can't hardly stand it, but that is what it is. Here is our sweet potatoes. If you remember me putting them in, and they're actually starting to flower.
They're so pretty when they flower.
Yeah, they're getting flowers on them, so which is cool. If you can see that or not, but they're there.
Purple flowers.
Yeah, we'll harvest these. We'll probably harvest these late September, early October, somewhere in there, because I don't want them to get frost. I don't want them to frost on these because it'll damage them. But and these, one nice thing about those is the greens are edible. You can cook them greens up like spinach. And there's been rabbits in here eating some of the greens off. Mostly down on that end. Back there's jalapeno peppers. They're not doing as good as a lot of the other peppers are for some reason. There's a lot of peppers on them, but they're not filling in and growing up good. And the tomatoes, we've gotten lots of tomatoes off so far. We at this point we got, I don't know how much froze. We juiced them and froze a bunch. And last weekend we did 14 pints of tomato sauce and 14 pints of, no, not 14, 10, right? 10, sorry. 10 pints of tomato sauce and 10 pints of sloppy Joe mix. This weekend we're going to do I think like 14 quarts of spaghetti sauce. We should have enough tomatoes to do that with already. And we're just going to do some sauce too, which that's just juicing it up and cooking it down till it thickens a little bit. There's nothing added to it, just tomatoes. And we're probably going to do that this weekend, the tomatoes, and that's going to almost be the end of our canning too, but we still got a lot more stuff. We'll probably do some more potatoes and maybe some peppers too.
And applesauce.
And applesauce, yeah, we want to do applesauce. That'll probably be next weekend. But we'll take you up there and show you those. So that's probably going to end this one. So stay tuned for part 2 if you want to see the other garden.